Alright, so we got the Blackwing profile. I'm changing cards in the extra deck, and I'll explain what they are because you should not run what I'm running in there. Like, you should run most of it, but I'll explain. So we got one copy of Soroka the Dawn. Soroka is cool because he's just like a monster and can get you out of bad situations. He's normal summonable, he can run over cards like Danko really easily. 99% of the deck can run over cards like Danko, so you don't have to worry about that. But he's just really good he lets you search for anything, including Chris, and that's a good thing. I'm running a heavy monster lineup in this build, so that explains the cards I was running in the third duel. I'm running 3 copies of Sure the Blue Flame. The reason why is he's just really strong to open with. If you can normal summon him, you just have really good field, and it lets you constantly get more and more advantage, which is something that you can't get with a lot of cards. Running 3 copies of Boar the Spear. This guy lets him special summon himself. That's why he's good. He does piercing, which is good. 1700, which is good. Lets you crash with the Danko once again. Danko's not a big problem. But the thing is, you can special summon him if you have any other Blackwing out, and you can just summon as many as you want, which makes him a really, really strong card, especially when that 4-Strix guy comes out, which is just really good for this deck. One Zephyros. The reason why I run the Zephyros is it lets you bounce him back, and a couple other cards. It just lets you make your plays go really, really big, and he's also 1600. All these cards are descending in stats, so it lets you search for the lower ones with the black Whirlwind, so that's always good. Next, we're running 3 copies of Gale. Yeah, I know, one is Ultra and the other 2 are Super. Who cares? But the thing is, what this guy does is he allows you to have opponent's monsters really good against Synchros and okay against the XYZs as well. But the biggest thing is that you can special summon level 3 Tuner, and you can Synchro really easily, as well as it can just weaken monster, Synchro really quick, and then use cards just to be able to keep your advantage. It also allows you, if you have a lot of level 4s, summon him, have it, and then get free draws with like Ragnar Zero and such. 3 Kalute. Kalute's good because it's a level 3 non-tuner. That's kind of a big thing, so you can go into Goyos and stuff with this guy. But the big thing that you can do with him is he you drop him for the 1400 boost, which is really nice. And yeah, if we were to drop any cards from this deck, it would be definitely either 1 Kalute or 1 copy of Shura, just because as important as they are, they're the least important to the strategy. I run 3 Blizzard because I like to consider this deck level 6 turbo. I'm running a lot of level 4s, and so I'm running a lot of Blizzard. This card's almost never dead, and because I call it level 6 turbo for the Synchros, this card just really does push and put in the work for you. I'm also running 3 copies of Chris. Even though this guy can only special summon him himself once per turn, you can use Blizzard to pull him out, ignoring that, and then be able to summon him as well. It allows you to do really big things. You can normal summon him and get any card except for the Sirocco because of the Black Whirlwind, and it's just really strong because you can do really silly combos such as Icarus attack, target him and another card, and he won't die once per turn. He's a really strong card and what the deck needed. And I'm running 3 Pinocchi, and the reason is that this card does is if it ever goes to the graveyard, doesn't matter how, you can search in the end phase, which is just really strong because it gets you the black wings that you need. Especially it lets you search for the Blizzard, which just really advances your game state. He can only be used to Synchro summon into Blackwing Synchros, which is why I'm running a lot of the Blackwing Synchros, simply because of this, but it's really good because of that. That's the monster lineup. I know it's a big monster lineup. I don't know the exact number, it'll be in the description below, but we're going to move on. Here's the spells. We're running 3 Black Whirlwind, because we are running such a high monster count that we constantly want to be able to cycle into what we need. 2 space, there's no room for a 3rd, you don't really need the 3rd because of the Icarus attacks, and most of the deck just doesn't really care about the back row because you can just outpace it. This card just helps you in those situations, and we always have it. You do keep a 3rd one in the side, but we're not going to be showing side decks per se because we don't have them with us. 1 black cards for Black Feathers. I only run this because, once again, I'm running such a high monster count, and I'm also running an Allure. This just allows me to get deeper into the deck to get the cards and traps and spells I need at the time. So I like to run 1 and 1. This card comes out in siding a lot. Sometimes I leave it in so I can get to the side deck, but these 2 cards are just there to help us get to the cards that we need. And the last spell I'm running is Raigeki. You saw me get this card a lot. This card does just change games, and so it's a really power card. Traps, we're running 3 copies of Icarus attack. This card just takes advantage and makes advantage insane. And if you send cards like Pinocchi, you can just get even more plus, or if you just send a level 4, you can use Blizzard to go plus again. And it's really strong. 1 copy of Black Sonic and 1 copy of Delta Crow, because Heavy Storm is incredibly strong and Mirror Force is strong, so having archetype themed ones that you can activate from your hand in situations and just banishing instead of targeting and being able to just destroy an entire back row is really strong. We are running 3 Phoenix Chain because we can bounce it with Zephyros, and we are running a Warning. That's the trap lineup. The deck, I believe, is exactly 40 cards, and so there's that. It's just, the point of the deck is to kind of swarm out monsters really easily. We're going to go into the extra deck once again, kind of go a little faster in this. We're running 1 copy of Armed Wing, mainly because he lets us attack over really big problematic cards, such as like Dante and stuff. It lets us get over those, which is something really good that the deck kind of needs. We are running 2 copies of Snowthong. I've been really considering going up to 2, or 3, because he just does so much for the deck, and with my double or triple Blizzard and just lots of ways to pull him out, it does so much advantage, and giving you the extra normal summon, which allows you to get more searches out the Black Sonics, it's really strong. 1 Hawk Joe. The main reason why he's good is he lets you pull back any of these guys and your Sirocco. All these cards can be pulled back with Hawk Joe when he's summoned, and it's just really strong because it lets you keep and maintain all of the advantages that you need. And 1 Armor Master because he can't be destroyed by battle, and it's just a card that helps you once again get over problematic cards because they have strangely really good effect. I'm running a Vulcan. Don't run this. It's an okay card, but the thing is there's better cards to run. Personally, I would say run a level 8 Synchro because the lack of having level 8 made it so I was left with weak monsters in one of the games on the field. So cut him for one of those. Goyo's good. You have him for when you want him, and he lets you steal your opponent's monsters. It's the snatch steal of this deck. So it's a good card. Black Rose, you make this a lot. It's really easy to make him. Yangzing Yazi, you can make him and he's really easy. He's good against certain matchups, so you keep him in there. That's the Synchro portion. Ragna, you keep him because of Gale. Abyss Dweller, Cowboy, Shark, Castel, and Zenmains, simply because it's secret. This should be a Zero Fine. Run a Zero Fine instead of the Zenmains. You don't need rank 3s. Yeah, make sure you can get those cards in there. Like, the only really important ones is Castel because it's a winged beast, so you can use that. You don't need the Arc really at all. I would suggest either replacing that with another Castel or putting an Exciton in its place. And the Cowboy you do need, but besides that, the deck doesn't need the extra deck. Like, it just needs like these 5 Synchros, and after these, outside of like these 5, you can just kind of do whatever you want with the extra deck. When Force Strix comes out, you should run 1 to 2 of them in the extra just because it lets you search for all the other level 4s, but I mean, who knows when that's coming out. And that's the Blackwings. I've been meaning to profile it for a while, and I figured this would be the best way to do it. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And as always, have a wonderful day. Yeah.